What's that?
All right, guys. Welcome back to another Soul Sanity sneaker review from your boy Spence. I challenge you today. If you learn anything from this video, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a sub if you're not subbed already. We do have a lot of content out here that is being watched, but not a lot of subscribers. So like one of our biggest videos so far has almost 2,000 hours of watch time, like 8,000 impressions, and like 95% of that like watch time and like engagement is from non-subscribers. So why y'all watching? Why y'all ghost watching? So today we're going to get into a New Balance video. Well, there's some other brands included in this as well, but mostly the video is about Salehe Bembury, who is an independent designer now, but he has many hats. So this is going to be an informative and educational video. Like I said, if you learned something today, like, comment, sub. I appreciate y'all. I actually did not, you'll see, I'm going to do a live unboxing of my pair. I waited just so I could get this video out for you guys because I love y'all. But my partner could not wait, nor did I want her to wait. I got to witness her unboxing, so his and hers of the Salehe Colors Be the Palette. So look at her little box. These boxes are beautiful, by the way. This is one of the best parts of his collaborations with some of the other brands. So Salehe Bembury. Whew, my allergies are killing me, so I'm a mouth breather right now. So if I have to pause talking to breathe, I'm sorry. So Salehe Bembury was born and raised in New York. I was about to say New York, California. So New York. He did go to Syracuse University, where he did get an industrial design degree. He's been like pretty much a designer from the moment he left college until now. It's just now he's mostly independent. He does collaborations with brands, but after graduation, he designed shoes at Payless. In between Payless, he did go to Cole Haan's, and he was on the innovation team at Cole Haan's. He created a signature silhouette called the Lunar Grand silhouette. His supervisor at Cole Haan's actually worked for Kanye, and so that's where the Kanye Salehe connection comes in. This is like 2014, 2015. But before he goes to work for Kanye at Yeezy, he did do some work for Birkenstocks and some other brands at the time, such as Greats, and he did. He was the footwear design director for Greats before he went to work for Yeezy in 2015. So in 2015, he went to work at Yeezy, and he designed some of the luxury footwear designs for season 3 and season 4. And that's a big time for Yeezy. That's almost the Ultra Boost era. And it might be, that's like the start of the Ultra Boost era, 2016. He didn't have anything to do with that part, but I'm just saying this is a big time for Yeezy in general. So we do have to credit Salehe, and some of the other designers were there as well. Well-known people as well, like Jerry and Virgil were, I'm pretty sure, there at that time as well. So after leaving Yeezy, he did go on to become the head of sneaker design at Versace in 2017. He got that through just DMing the the people at Versace on LinkedIn. So make sure you guys are out there, really shopping your portfolio around. Like I said, his supervisor at Cole Haan's actually encouraged him to submit his portfolio to Yeezy. So shout out to him. After 2 or 3 years of being at Versace, he became the vice president of sneaker and men's footwear. Before he left in 2021, he did create a signature silhouette that was debuted by 2 Chainz. It's called the Chain Reaction, the Versace Chain Reaction. After he left Versace, in which he left Versace in 2021 to pursue his own creative designs, and not have to be under an umbrella of a brand, just for bigger opportunities, is what he said. So after leaving Versace in 2021, he created Sponge, which is his own brand. You guys are probably familiar with his website that gets botted to hell all the time. be a sponge. But you know, in the last few drops, I think it's been okay since last year when this came out, 2024, January 2024. So before he did all of these New Balance collabs, he actually did receive an offer to work with Nike. However, he chose to work with brands like New Balance to preserve his role in design, which I understand. As a creator, I could definitely see you wanting to have your hands on your project and be as involved as possible. And with a big brand, big corporation like Nike, I could see that they would have a lot of stipulations to the collaboration and things like that. Obviously, I don't know this for certain, but you know, there is different freedoms that come with working with different people. And I want to say, like, at this time, or like 2021 ish, 2020, 2021 ish, that's a big deal that he chose to go with New Balance, because this is honestly before New Balance had a huge resurgence. Like, you know, in the last few years, we've had various arguments about other brands competing with Nike for the number one spot, or at least the number one spot in the last few years. Nike is definitely still number one. I don't know why we have this big debate about it, but Salehe taking a chance and going with a smaller brand like New Balance and Crocs, he definitely is, if not the most, one of the most people we could accredit to New Balance's resurgence, Crocs resurgence. Like he played a major part. Him and Joe Freshgoods, Kith, a lot of the other New Balance collaborations have a huge part in their resurgence. But I would say Salehe is definitely top three collaborators that have pushed New Balance to where it is now in 2025. Definitely Crocs. He carried Crocs. Like Jeremiah said, he just put that, and then it took off. So I am gonna do a rundown of, like, you know, most of his collaborations and all of the things he has worked on in the last like 5 years or so. So in the last like 5 years, he's worked with New Balance, Crocs, Montclair, Vans, and some other brands. So I'm gonna do a comprehensive list. This took me so long to research, y'all. I hope you guys all appreciate this. I'm gonna try and go as slow as possible so I can add all the pictures without it being too jumbled together. And then I'm gonna unbox the shoes for you guys, and we'll talk about that. So, 2020, his first New Balance collab is the New Balance 2002R. Peace Be the Journey. This is an orange 2002R. Pretty memorable. I would say this is a good debut, honestly. Like, if this one had not gone well, we might not have any of the ones in the future. Obviously, you got to start strong or you don't get anywhere at all. So another brand that I didn't mention is Anta, and some of you may know Anta from Klay Thompson or some of the other athletes, but notably in the last year, it has been Kyrie Irving. You know, when he lost his deal with Nike, that he became the creative director at Anta. And so Salehe in 2020 did two Anta shoes, the SB1 and the SB2. Not much to say about it. You know, I'm not the biggest fan. Honestly, I have a lot of respect for Salehe's collaborations and shoes, and there's a lot of these on here that I would be critical about. But I mean, it's very hard to be a designer. You can't make stuff for everybody. But I think his stuff is very creative, unique, and he is still like a great designer. So 2021, we have the New Balance Run Test. This is like a conceptual looking sneaker. Very, very, like, I was about to say off whitish because it's like pieced together. But definitely like a not a deconstructed, but like an overly constructed looking conceptual looking shoe. Another 2002 in to 2021. This is the Water Be the Guide. This one is one of my favorite Salehe shoes. It's like a greenish hue. It goes very well with the other 2002 that came out, which is the orange one. So it would be my goal at one point to own most of these New Balance collaborations, just because I think they look really good. And there's some of the better, like Ame Leon Dior, and like Kith and Jound. A lot of their New Balances can be kind of boring, and this is the opposite. Like these are very bright, like colors that pop a lot on these outfits. So those would be cool to own as well. So we then got a hiking style shoe. This is the New Balance 547. Not to be confused with the 574. This is the 547 Yurt. So this actually came from Salehe getting lost on a hike. And then he came up with a conceptual piece where he taped a whistle to the shoe. And after 18 months of design, this is what we got. In 2021, also, we got one of his biggest collaborations to date, which is the Crocs Pollex clog. And obviously, everybody knows what this looks like. It's literally a fingerprint on top of the Croc, which is a huge, big deal when it comes to his when it comes to Crocs resurgence in the last few years. So he actually the Crocs Pollex clog came out in 2021 after 2 years of success with the Crocs clog. In 2023, he was named the creative director of a Croc Pollex line. So he has much more creative freedom, and we started to see that later, which I'll talk about with one of his other shoes from Crocs. So in 2022, he did a performance style sneaker with a brand called Brand Black. Not much to say about this, but his name was obviously huge at this time, so everybody was trying to work with him. So he also has a Sponge Vans collab, which is it's SpongeBob-esque. It's a blue base with yellow, not thumbprint, but lines that could be thumbprint-esque. On a Vans, I want to say it's a, what is it? It's an Era. It looks like an Era, I'm pretty sure. So later in 2022, we do have the New Balance 990 V2 Sand Be the Time. This is also one of my favorites behind the 2002 Water Be the Guide. So it's like a tan with the pink and purple. This is definitely one of my favorites from his New Balance collabs. I would love to own these. I almost got them from Curated Hype last year, but I think it was a half size small. But honestly, it wasn't priced too crazy. So I'd like to go back and grab these once 2025 stops robbing me blind for my bread. J Tips is going to take however many dollars he's going to charge me for this Jazz 9 this weekend. So wish me good luck. Dreamville Fest is also next weekend. Wish me luck. My Eric Emanuel stuff came in today. Just pray for me. I'm getting cooked. So next is another Sponge. So Sponge, his signature line. They did a collaboration with Clarks. It's called the Lugger. It's a mid-top silhouette with a crepe sole. These are pretty cool. It's got a splatter design on it. It came out in 3 colors. I honestly didn't know about these in 2023 when they came out, but upon doing further research, I kind of like these. I don't know if I'd buy them. I'd have to check on the retail. But I think it's a cool shoe. Good design. Some things are cool to look at. If there was a sneaker museum, these are things that would definitely have an exhibit, whether they would be purchased by the masses or not. Good designs are good designs, whether they're marketable or not. So continuing his designer lineage, because he first and foremost is a luxury footwear designer. He did a Moncler Genius Trail Grid, and this is another hiking-esque shoe, but that's just his creative spin on the luxury design. And I think hiking type style shoes were big at this time. So I'm pretty sure this is around the time when the Joe Freshgoods 610 came out. And their New Balance was pushing the 610. I think Amine's came out around this time as well. So a lot of the hiker sneakers were very popular, prominent at this time. Next, January 2024, we had the Heat Be Hot. We got 2 colors. This was the first New Balance collaboration where he gave us 2 different styles. 2 different colors. And so there was a Magma colorway, which is this one, I believe. I was lucky enough to get this off his site before it got botted. And I got a manual win. Shout out your boy. And then there is a Lava colorway as well. Forgive me if I'm confusing the names for one another, but it's silver with yellow gradient to red. This is one of his best collaborations. I still have not had a chance to wear it just because the colors are crazy, and I don't want to wear it before I get my outfit 100% the way I want it. But one of my favorite parts about this is the purple outsole, and then the purple tongue here. For those of you who don't know, purple is my favorite color. But this, yeah, New Balance running 1906, Salehe Bembury tag. It's very, that's his staple. Good, just a good looking shoe. You probably can't see it, but there's like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's not dirty looking, but it's like they marked all over the midsole, and some of the outsole. Gives it like a grungy look. Looks very good in my opinion. I can't wait to wear these. I just have to get right on the on my drip. I hate that word, but and we got the signature like cork insole, which does come with these as well. Next, so I said I was going to talk about the Crocs sneaker, which is the Crocs Juniper. Came out last year, 2024. This made the podcast, which for those of you who don't know, we do a podcast. Jeremiah, Eli, Rich, and I do a podcast called the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast. Last year, we did it might have been early this year. We did a list of 2024's worst sneakers, and we had the Crocs Juniper on there as one of the worst sneakers, not design-wise, but looks-wise. I just can't get behind this one. No shade to Salehe. Like I said, not all designs are going to be marketable, and this one's not marketable to me, in my opinion. I am not a fan. So Puma and Salehe announced that they were going to be doing a collaboration in 2024. However, nothing has been released yet, so no shoes have come, no clothes have come, nothing. So the date is to be determined. 2024, we got one more New Balance collaboration from Salehe, which is the 530. It's a yellowish, like Easter looking 530. I don't believe this one has a name, or at least if it does, I can't find it, which is the only New Balance collaboration without a like prominent name, which obviously like this one is the colors be the palette. But this is I don't think this one has a name. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but when I was looking at this, it didn't have a name. But I was also looking at an article that was pre-release, so we'll see. Next, we have the New Balance 1500. This one did come out earlier this year. This one is the Growth Be a Tree. Both of these last two shoes are $275 retail. I don't know what the retail is for the 1500 New Balance series. Regular price is probably $250. I was a little shocked when this was $275 when I went to the website to purchase it. But after Jeremiah told me, like I knew New Balance shoes were expensive, like 200 to 225 like plus. But I didn't know that the 990 V2 or 990 V1 is typically $250, so it's only a $25 markup, and we did get a box and fresh materials and a lot of other things. So shout out to Jeremiah for educating me on that one. But yeah, the 1500 Growth Be a Tree, also $275. I'm not sure what the retail price is of the 1500 though. Somebody comment that below. This one I think it's not two colors. It's a tan color shoe. I really like this one as well, but it wasn't on my radar as far as this year just because there's too much coming out this year. But I could not pass up on these. So I'm going to play this Blake Anderson clip, which is the official like teaser promo for this shoe, the color be the palette. It did first drop on March 13th, and then it dropped on March 20th on the New Balance website, but I'll talk about that after we roll the clip. So like I said, the first drop was on March 13th. I believe that was like a Thursday at 12. Um, I don't know if that one was like announced beforehand, but I didn't see it announced. I happened to catch it because I'm usually off on Thursdays. I happened to catch it while I was laying in bed. And it was pretty easy to get, which is kind of weird for his shoes. Most of his shoes like that sell out very quickly, but this one did have a $275 price tag, and it's a 990 V1, which a lot of people might not be so into. It is notable to say that the aged well 992s didn't sell out as fast either, nor did the Amine 740. None of these last collaborations that I spoke about are going for a lot of money or are like profitable in any like resale aspect. I think they did end up selling out, except this one is still available in all sizes except an 11, a 12, and a 13 on the New Balance website. But this stayed up on Salehe's Be a Sponge website all day, and all sizes were available until they took it down the next day. And I thought at first maybe it's a pre-order, which I would have, been okay with seeing that. Like I want to purchase the shoe regardless of other people caring about it and it's selling out. However, I just think it's interesting the kind of drop style that this had. I did get proven wrong. Obviously, once New Balance they shipped my shoe the next week, and then New Balance had these available also the next week. That it's not a pre-order. So I guess they just made a lot, which I'm cool with. Like I said, give it to everybody. The only thing that sucks is if this shoe obviously goes on sale. I paid the high, but I feel good about my investment into this. $275 for a shoe that even when it loses its aesthetic appeal, is still a good shoe down to the core materials. So not a bad investment at all. Let's get into the unboxing. Oh, real quick. So shout out my boy Glenn. So he actually sent me these last week. He's doing some downsizing at his house. So for those of you who don't know, this is the Denim 6 that came out probably like 2019, 2020, somewhere around that time. But he did a little bit of his own customization to these to make them a little bit better. So I don't know if you can tell, but it does have like some distressing on it. And it looks like he might have bleached it a little bit. But I do think that makes this shoe look a little bit better. It's still not the greatest shoe from Jordan Brand ever, but I mean, what do we expect from Jordan Brand as far as creativity goes? But I appreciate my boy for thinking of me anytime he was looking to downsize his collection because he's moving. And so he thought of me first. And I do think that he did a good job at making these look a little bit better. These would probably be like a collection piece. But shout out to my boy. He actually threw these to me for the free. So shout out Glenn. I'll see you later, man. I haven't seen you in a while, so congrats on the baby and the marriage. All right, let's get into unboxing. Get into it. My box is almost as small as hers. I guess, yeah, it is. It looks just about the same size. So, Salehe Bembury, New Balance made in UK, 9.5, unisex, women's 11, purple violet. So let's take a look. Obviously, let's take a look at this box. You've been looking at it all day, but we do have this mountain range that was shown in the video. And it says the colors be the palette collaboration. So, first thing you notice about this shoe is this green lining, which is one of my favorite parts. It's one of my favorite parts about all of the J tips, except for the one coming out this weekend does not have a green lining, but all of the other ones do, and that's one of my favorite details. Okay, Rich, for you got two laces. No, you got three laces. So you got a dark purple, We have the purple that matches the actual hairy suede. So light purple, dark purple, and we do have a cream. I think I'm going to go with the darker purple once I wear this first outfit I have planned. I might wear it on Sunday, but it might rain. And then I think I do want to try them with this as well. So I'm not going to do two laces on this New Balance, two different laces on this New Balance, but I do think that it'll be worth incorporating this color into a fit. Next, the next thing I noticed is this yellow back tab on the heel. With the V2 logo as well in this like lighter gold-ish like stitching with the yellow accents here on the front. It does have the made in UK tag on the tongue. Overall, really, really good looking shoe. The red accents. We do have the orange fingerprint accent here. That's his staple, which, you know, obviously it's on his box and everything. And I'm a little surprised that we didn't go with the logo in a different color, but I'm not mad at it at all. We got holographic, like reflective panels here with some different colored purple, suede, and mesh here. This little cream insole. You know, Jeremiah, how do you feel about the cream insole on this? But, you know, I know you don't like the pissy midsoles on Jordans, but tell me how you feel about it on here, because obviously you can see this one's this color, this one's this color. I don't know if I would call it pissy, but it definitely isn't, like, it's not this, you know, which this is like the kind of the normal one, unless you get some of the other 990s are like a little bit lighter, some have white on them sometimes. Dang, I've been calling this a 990, it's a 991. I wrote it down wrong. Dang, I got myself cooked. I don't have a lot else to say in this video. This is very long-winded of me, but I am super excited to have these. These are going to go on the feet very soon. They look really big, so I hope they fit. I got a 9.5, but we're going to see. We're going to see how that goes. I will catch y'all out on another video. Let me know if you guys want me to unbox my Eric Emanuel stuff on camera. I just got it in today, so it'd be I don't mind doing another video today. This should be out today. March 27th. I wish y'all luck on J-Tips drop tomorrow. Wish y'all luck on the Obsidian drop this weekend. Holla at me if you need me. I'm always here. This was another sneaker review from Spence. I'll see y'all later. Peace.